Good times. And so I'm gonna start off with a magazine ad. You know. Whoo! Okay, so check this out. Check this out. Here's a snapshot of this ad right here, based on some visual priority. Now this is just my opinion, right? But really, there's like a visual hierarchy that's happening here, and you might not really notice it. Check out the picture. It's literally like, but what, 2/3 of the entire ad, right? It's huge. The bold white copy in the middle is like the second thing you see. I kind of labeled everything here 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right, to kind of explain the visual hierarchy. The game box and screenshots are the third. So this is like the third thing you see right here, right? The copy, which is the text right here, is the fourth, and basically everything else, like the Nintendo cartridge and all that fun stuff, and the legal lines, is the last thing. Here's the interesting thing: is like I actually couldn't really find that many ads for Contra, right? And I think this might be the only one. And I probably read it in, I don't know, shoot. At the time, I was just getting ads for maybe Toys R Us or whatever. But yeah, this is also a dual ad with Jackal right here, of course, right here. Look at these guys. Look at these fierce. Look at this. This guy kind of creeps me out. Anyway, but still, Contra feels dominant in here. Look how rich and dark this is compared to how light this is right here. The overall user experience, like first shot when I look at it, like this is straight up power. This is 80s power for sure, but it's straight up power, right? So let's go on. Let's talk about this picture. This picture is ridiculous. This image is overflowing with aspirations of being powerful, and most of all, control. Look at those faces. Look, they have bandanas. They have super fierce, like, gaze right at me. They're like looking into my soul fiercely. Look at these glazed arm cannons. Look at that. That's right. These are registered. Still, this guy looking at me is creeping me out. Radically huge feature weapons. Look, check this out. Look at this gun. Look at this gun right here. It looks like he has his finger on the trigger, right? He's holding something. But what's that? There's two triggers on this gun. Anyway, I'm just like, all my guns are gonna have like multiple triggers now because of science, right? The bullets are quite literally the length of his biceps right there. And grenades, there's tons of grenades. Like, he has grenades everywhere right here, and there's more grenades right here. There's like, hey, let's have like 800 grenades. Like, there's nothing more powerful, right, than walking into a room with straight up like equipment that could destroy a room on you, and without like thinking about it, right? And his commando gear, he's all commando. He's basically what every boy was like, I need a camo pants and probably be shirtless, right? And like bullets and all that fun stuff. But then I also noticed that he looks like he has a knife. I'm pretty sure that that's a knife right there. And he's literally standing, they're all literally standing in like the fog of war or some sort of aftermath of smoke, right? Like, they just got done just straight dominating stuff, but this is the aftermath of smoke. What's also kind of interesting, at least to me, is the space right here, from the top of the picture to, like, I literally feel like I have to look up to him, right? Like, I have to look up to him. It's kind of crazy. I like it. Oh, and here's like, okay, as this shows you how weird I can get. Check this out. Like, the Contra box, like, this might have been done before the art or whatever, but look at this. Like, they're in the wrong positions. These guys are switched. Look at red bandana, green. Look, okay? Just, they're switched. Why'd they do that? I don't know. The world may never know. Okay, so we just talked about the first priority, visual priority thing that we saw, and now let's look at the second thing. This is the bold white text that pops off the page, right? Now, this first sentence, they've got the power. These guys right here, they've got the power, right? This first sentence is mirroring what you feel, or at least what I felt, right? It literally, this image actually has empathy for me. It's like it gets me. Like, I know that these guys are powerful. I know that these guys are not afraid. Like, they don't look afraid. They're like, nobody's shaken, right? that's cool. So basically, okay, mirror the empathy. This is great. They're powerful. But then the second sentence is like the kicker. They made me acknowledge that these guys are powerful. These guys are everything I want to be. They're so buff. They have guns. That the second sentence makes the first sentence your power up. I'll break that down in just a little bit. But look at that. These guys are powerful. They've got the power. But who's in control? This guy. Yeah. I'm in control. I'm actually the hero. That's what makes these two sentences like super crazy. Is that they basically had empathy for me, and now they're like, but this is all in your control. So let's break that down just a little bit, because they actually did something really secret and on the fly even here. So since that bold text made you, or made me feel like the hero, it also made me ask a question to myself. But how do I control that power, right? Like, what do I do? So now I go into hunt mode. I want to know how to get this power. The answer is in actually this third area. You control the power with this game. That's so good. It's so good. You control the power with this game. Think of the game as your Mario mushroom of power. So if this was like a Mario mushroom and you ate it, basically, I'm powerful now and I'm in total control. Interestingly enough, like at my age, there was a lot of things out of my control, right? Like, I wonder part of the appeal. Of course, all the 80s movies and things at the time that were going on, Predator, Aliens, all that fun stuff. Those are huge influences, but there was actually a lot out of my control when I was younger. And playing a game like this puts you in control. I digress. Apologies. But this small image right here, they actually did something even sneakier too. So this is all part of 3. So the box and the screenshot right here for this game. Look how tiny it is. I actually feel like it was intentional to make this huge, like this big aspirational image. They anchor you into like the power thing and how do you get the power. Okay, now this is how you get the power, but what does the power look like? This small image is designed for you to invest time looking for it. It's triggering that hunt. Like, I need to know how to get this. I need to know how to get this. So that's what they did. The fourth thing is that now let's look at the copy. And this wraps everything into like kind of like a call to action, right? But they use like very aggressive, like super like machismo, just man, kind of words, right? They say, okay, I'm gonna read it. You punch Konami's new Contra or Jackal video games into your Nintendo Entertainment System and take charge of a handful of America's toughest commandos. Look at these words. Punch. So you feel this word. This vision casts the power of putting the game into the NES, right? You take charge. You are in control. And then of what? What are you taking charge of? America's toughest command. I wrote commands. But I'll fix that. Commandos, right? You have the power of America and its toughest commandos. Unlimited power is all yours. Whew. That's a lot in just a sentence or two, in my opinion, of course. But check this out. So I went into a little bit more of a behavioral science path, right? So there's triggers, actions, rewards, and investments, right? So triggers are the things that kind of call you to action. They require you to do something. You have to notice them, right? Usually those are like start buttons or whatever, but the action is like, what work do you have to do in order to get the reward, right? And the reward is a little bit of a mystery, but then what do you do with that reward later? Like how is it an investment for you as a person, and how does this loop keep going so you keep on looking and all that fun stuff? So I broke it down in a way that is understandable for me. Hopefully this helps you too. But the first thing is the triggers. So we have the picture, the bold white copy, the game boxes and screens, and this this copy right here. Those are the triggers. Those are the things that you need to look at or engage with, right? This is why you keep looking. The action is I'm looking at this huge picture. I'm reading these words. I'm searching for what is going to make me powerful. I'm discovering, like this screenshot here. This is what the game looks like. I'm investigating because this is like all a mystery, right? There's so much information. It's literally like, hey, look up here, look here, and then you go back up again. It's like a loop in itself. The reward though is this ad called out some desires in me, right? It mirrored my feelings, like the feeling of like wanting to be in control, the feeling of wanting to be powerful, the feeling of being a hero America needs, basically the feeling of having value, being part of like just some like being just so hardcore, right? And the investment though, this is what a lot of people kind of glaze over, but it's important. Like after I look at this, I know what power looks like, right? Or at least my definition of power in the 80s when I was 10, right? I know what the game box looks like. Now I can find it in the store. This is like leveling me up like crazy. I know what the game looks like, right? Look at that. I know exactly what I'm getting. And I'm super excited because it's straight up. There's stuff happening. There's bullets going. There's darkness. It's crazy. But even more hardcore is I know how I want to feel, right? That's a big one. I know how to get to it, and I know what I will do when I get the power, right? I'm gonna punch the game into the Nintendo Entertainment System. So that's like the magazine ad. So summary. If I was gonna make an ad like this, like for my own game, right? Let me just take myself away. Can't have that. The summary is advertising this type of game. If I was going to remake this ad, I would need to make sure it had a big aspirational image. Power, control, no fear. Everything opposite of a 10-year-old boy, right? Well, I guess debatable, right? But you want to have big, bold, white copy that draws your eye right to it. But with this copy, you want to mirror the audience's emotions, right? Tell them they have it. They have this power. But let the question how to get it build up internally. You want to show the game box, right? So this is the answer. This is how you get the power. Screenshots. This is what you play to experience the power. And the copy. This is your call to action, which also reinforces everything above really quickly. And if you're like me, you'll keep on looking at this over and over and over and over, right? Like, I wouldn't do it like now. But yeah, that's what it's designed to do.